Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the Seaman. I want to welcome you to another edition of the Seaman's Cinema Sit Down. I'm telling you, the movies are just trying to break me emotionally this week, man. If you've seen my A Star Is Born review, check it out if you haven't. But you are aware that movie gutted me emotionally like a fish, in a very heartbreaking way, and material that I just personally was able to connect with in a way that affected me quite strongly. Throw in Bad Times at El Royale, not really a movie that emotionally pulls you too hard, but it gave me one scene that punched me in the chest, and I was like, come on, man, like, I just want to get through one movie this week without welling up a little bit, and I knew that was not a possibility tonight, because the movie I was going to see, I knew was going to be unbelievably powerful, emotionally charged and driven, and it was all those things, and it got me. It got me more than once. So pull up a chair, man, take a seat. I'm fresh out of the theater after seeing The Hate U Give, and wow, man, what a powerful movie. The emotional content of this movie, and the subject matter and what we're talking about is dialed up to like a 12, the whole movie, as it should be, because the subject matter demands that. But what the movie does really, really well is, even though the subject matter and emotional intensity is at a 12, the movie is able to find pockets to come in and out of where you can dial that down a little bit, so that you're not like, an emotion that if that was 12 was the entire movie, you lose it, but you never forget that it's at a 12. I just thought it was so impressive, and then just throw in that Amanda Stenberg's her performance is. I said it the other day that Lady Gaga was my front runner. It didn't take but 2 movies to say that she's not anymore. Amanda Stenberg. Wow. It's one of the most powerful performances I've seen all year. This movie, for me, really, really kind of lands in that sweet spot that Blind Spotting did, right? Because it's the same subject matter: police shootings, police brutality, police shootings specifically against minorities, and in both of these situations, young black men. And both tackle the subject in totally different ways, right? Blind Spotting, you got 2 grown men who've grown up in Oakland, and all that gets tied into it. This is about like a teenage girl who, if you're unfamiliar, at a party, guns go off, running out. Her friend goes to take her home. They pull over to talk for a little bit because he wants to be able to look her in the eyes, and you can't do that when you're driving. Very commendable. And then after they're done talking, he goes to pull out, and a cop pulls him over. And the situation leads to him being shot and killed directly in front of our lead star. And the movie then goes from there and takes you on this journey that dives into not just, police shootings, against young black men, the Black Lives Matter movement. It covers the police shooting from the police standpoint. It covers the concept of police, being overly aggressive toward black men, even when the police officer is black. It dives into the psyche of the police. There's a conversation between Star and her uncle Carlos, who's played by Common, that happens toward the back half of this movie that is mind-blowing, because the whole movie you've been getting this, the things that, the fact that he's unarmed, he's a young black man, it's a white police officer, the cop, the chances that the cop gets off, all these things have been what the story is really driving, and Common delivers material that gives you what it's like to be the cop. And you totally empathize with him for a hot second. And then Star flips it in a way I never saw coming. And the response it got, like, it literally, this is a non-spoiler, but it literally gets her to say the words, "Do you hear what you just said?" It's And then talk about, it's not just that stuff though. One of my favorite parts about this movie is that we get to see a complete family unit, you know, like a full black family unit, not a broken home, which is what we so often see in movies and television. And that's always the story, right? Broken home, dad was a gangbanger, mom's alone, or dad ran off. And to see a complete unit, and not just a complete unit, but a very diverse unit, her dad was a gangbanger. He went to prison, and then he decided to settle down. He figured out a way to get out, and has just been nothing but the best father and best example of what a man should be to his kids. But his nature still exists. That old life doesn't leave. And that plays out in multiple ways in the movie that bring multiple different conversations to a head. But Russell Hornsby is unbelievable, man. I so powerful, so strong. The drive to make sure that his kids will be okay. And the same from Regina Hall, who plays his wife. And just getting to watch that full unit along with her two brothers, played by Lamar Johnson and TJ Wright. And I say all their names because that family is the central focus of the movie. It really is, from all things that stem conversation-wise, stem out of the family hub. And they all deliver unbelievably powerful performances. Regina Hall has an unreal conversation at one point with Starr that just is like, you feel so much in this movie. Because everything this girl is going through, from the pressure of just having to have witnessed it, to do you speak up, to the gangbangers that your dad used to run with are the ones that were supplying your friend with work. If that gets brought up, do you say anything? What consequences does that have? Should you ever quiet your voice? I mean, all of these things, man, this movie dives into everything, and it just tackles it in ways very much like I said with Blind Spotting, and even, Sorry to Bother You and Black Klansman. Every one of the topics that get discussed in a way where it's not just, blacks or minorities or, urban, people from an urban area. The movies are being told in a way that the mass audience can take it in and appreciate it and get it. Understand where it's coming from, and what the message is. The best part about my experience tonight was to be in a packed house on a Saturday night that I assumed would probably be mostly black, just for the general demographic of where I am. And to my delight, the crowd was so diverse across the board. I mean, you had, and not just like one or two people, but I mean, white families, black families, Asian families, Hispanic families, lots of families, and lots of just different people all over the place. And every time the movie drove to a point that deserved applause, the whole crowd applauded. When the movie was over, the entire crowd applauded. It blew me away to be in an audience that it just tells you how good this movie is, how well written this movie is, how it dissects and discusses its subject matter so well, and just driven off unbelievably powerful performances. I'm telling you, Amanda Stenberg, keep your eye on it. She's my front runner right now. The performance she gives, how she deals with two different lives, right? She's from an urban ghetto area, but goes to a white, rich school, if you will. And how she has to balance that, and then how the shooting makes those worlds collide eventually, and how that forms and shapes her and brings out who Starr truly is by the end of the movie. Is just breathtaking and magical, and the mastery to deliver a performance like that in someone so young was mind-blowing. She's unbelievable. Same with Russell Hornsby. I was really I'm telling you, watch him to be in the supporting actor nominations, maybe even Regina Hall. But the cast is so strong, and the whole cast. There's so many people I didn't, but the family is the focal point of a lot of the movie, and a lot of the things that stem out of the movie come from the family and this grouping. I mean, even Lamar Johnson, who plays her brother, man, he has some very serious moments, and some of the lighter moments. He helps break the tension several times, which is really nice, because his little brother, TJ Wright, who plays Sakani, dials the tension level up to like a bajillion. It is a scene that puts you on the edge of your seat in a way that you don't see coming until it's coming, and then you're like, it's not really and this movie was emotionally powerful and just so poignant and on the money. Everyone should go see this movie. Everyone should be talking about this movie. And it's just so nice to see film being diversified and getting diverse stories, right? I don't just need a diverse cast. Diverse stories. I want to see stories and things that you don't get discussed, and I'm getting so much of that this year, and it's so refreshing, and I just hope it gets reflected when we come down the award season, because there are too many movies to deny this year that have just been so powerful, and this one is one of the best, right up there with everything else that I've seen this year that will be in my top 10. This movie was unbelievable. There you go, man. It's so unbelievable. 11 minutes of Seaman chatter without really saying anything. I'm impressed that I didn't spoil. I don't think I spoiled too much or anything, really. I think I did a decent job. Did I? If I did, let me know down in the comments, man. It's your turn. Have you seen The Hate U Give? What did you take away? What did you like? Like I said, so powerful. Let me know what you're thinking down below. If you haven't seen the movie, have I enticed you? Do you want to go on just a relevant ride that we all should go on? I hope you do. Leave all those comments down below or leave all of those thoughts in the comments down below. As always, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and if you're new here, hit the subscribe and little bell so you get alerts every time I make a new video. For the Seaman's Cinema Sit Down, I am the Seaman, and I am signing off. What's up, everybody? Seaman here, letting you know that the fun doesn't have to stop, man. Hit this video or this video. And if you really haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so you know what's going on.